Welcome to The Hurt is the Same. My name is Chantel Johnson, and each show is dedicated to my son Christopher Johnson, who was the 109 homicide right here in Jackson, Mississippi. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to The Hurt is the Same. As you know, my name is Chantel Johnson. We're not going to waste no time because time is money. I have a family here tonight with me that they have a lot to say, and I'm going to let her go ahead and introduce herself.
My name is Janitha Brooks.
Okay, Janika, tell me why you here.
I'm here just to put awareness of what's going on with my sister and the injustice that she has endured, and she's currently fighting for her life, so we're fighting for her.
Okay, tell us what happened, when it happened, and the area that you can go in, because it is an open investigation, so we're not going to enclose too many details.
Okay, so on Thursday, September the 1st, on Ash Street, West Ash Street in Jackson, my sister Leslie, she was burnt. She was doused with gasoline, and she was burned. 80% of her body was burned. They said that, well, when Thursday is when it's happened, the first. We didn't find out until the second, on Friday. They told us that what happened was she was trying to douse her boyfriend with gasoline, and somehow it got on her and she set herself afire. And they didn't explain how the fire had started, but she set herself on fire. And from what we know,
well, you know, when I hear you say that, and I'm picturing it in my mind, and first off, I want to let people know, as a little girl, those that's familiar with Wood Street area and born and raised over there, as a little girl, I actually seen someone burnt up alive. His name was Boogaloo when I was younger. And I also have a family friend that has been close to my family for over 50 years that lost her daughter, you know, to a similar incident. So when I hear you say that, I have to ask myself, who the hell lit something? Because gasoline is just liquid. If it's nothing to ignite it, it's just liquid. So who the hell lit it?
Yeah, so we don't know the details of exactly how it happened, but the person that we feel is responsible, her boyfriend, they was having a domestic dispute from what we understand. On Monday, they went to jail, both of them, for a domestic dispute. And on Thursday, this happened. The 911 caller, from the information the 911 caller gave us, is that she was laying on the ground, and he heard her when he came out of his house saying help. He then looked around, he didn't see anyone. He heard her say help again, and he looked closer. He seen her boyfriend putting a sheet over her, and he seen her like trying to come from underneath the sheet. So at that point, the boyfriend recognized that she had got the attention of a neighbor of the 911 caller. So he then attempted to walk towards him, no sense of urgency, not saying call 911. He asked him, do you have any water? But at this point, Leslie was already put out. He said there was no fire. But he asked him, he walked across the street and asked him, do you have any water? He said he turned on his hydrant, his water hose, which is like right at the street, and gave him and threw a bucket at him. He said, but he went in to tell his wife what was going on, and he didn't feel right. He felt something wasn't right about it, so he immediately called the police. Well, Clarence noticed that he called the police. He said by that time he stood on his porch. Clarence was walking back over, toting the bin with water, and he poured the water on Leslie. He seen sting. He said then Clarence used a blanket, or no, it's a sheet, and covered her and actually assisted her in getting up. And he walked her inside of an abandoned home, and they stayed in there for about 5 to 6 minutes, and then they came back out and they sat on the porch. When they sat on the porch at that time, he said the firefighters had arrived. And when the firefighters arrived, they allowed Clarence to tell them that Leslie doused herself, attempting to douse him, and set herself on fire. Mind you that this 911 caller told us that Leslie, she was butt naked. Her clothes had burned totally off of her, and her head, she was bald. Her head looked like a melting candle, was his description of her face. So then Clarence was allowed to, the police officer came and left within 5 to 10 minutes, as another witness stated. They did not stay for, the firefighter and the ambulance was still there when the police officer pulled off. At that point, from what we know, no report was done by the police officer, no report was done by the firefighter, no report was done by the ambulance. Clarence was allowed to give Leslie's ID to the ambulance, and they left, and he stayed at the scene. The 911 caller said that Clarence, after everyone left, he grabbed the gas can, the red gas jug, and he walked down to his house where him and Leslie stayed. He said that at that point, Clarence came back to him and asked him, "Can you please take me to the hospital? My hands are burning." He said, but he's seen no obvious burn wounds or anything else on Clarence. He told him no, and he said the reason that he told him no because he felt like he did that to Leslie. 911 caller was like they all stayed on the same street, and he said Les used to come by and use his Wi-Fi all the time, and actually told him stories about being abused by Clarence. So he rejected it. Clarence then walked to the stop sign to two of Leslie's supposed associates and asked them to take him to the hospital. One of them said yes and took him to the hospital, but when he got in the car, he was specific in saying, "Take me to the hospital where Leslie is," exactly over to CMMC, Marriott Health, instead of going to the university if you're in hurt. And we don't understand simple questions. It's like, if he was hurt and he was the one being victimized or attacked by her, why didn't he get help or assistance while the ambulance was there?
I totally agree.
Yeah, so they took him, he said once he got in the car, he took him there and he asked him what happened, and he told him in detail that, well, not in full detail, that Leslie tried to throw gas on him and lit herself afire, and he tried to put her out. That same person took him to the hospital. The story gets a little weird because they changed the story kind of often, but he took him to the hospital. The next neighbor said that Clarence returned home and sat on his porch within 30 minutes of being at the hospital. From what we know, when he made it to the hospital, from doctors, they told us that there was a Caucasian male that came in wearing a mask so far up to where it was almost to his eyes, you couldn't see him. And he said that that was his wife. And the nurse who took charge said, "No, we're not going to give any information." They denied him information. He then left. He didn't seek any medical help. He didn't tell them that he was burned. He just left the hospital. So he returned back to his home. That's when the second witness said that he seen him return so fast that from his own experience, he thought Leslie was dead, because when he took his wife to the hospital and they pronounced her dead, they just said, "You can meet us at the corner." So he returned home quickly like Clarence did. He said Clarence then sat on the porch and someone came and picked him up from his home. So at this point, Clarence has not called us as the family. He did not send messages. JPD have not called us. The hospital have not called us. Anything. This is Thursday. We didn't find out till Friday after 6 p.m.
Oh my.
We didn't find out till Friday after 6, and it was actually my nephew, her daughter, who is, I wouldn't say that he stays there, but he's there so much to where he has a key.
Right.
So he had came in late from work the night before. Thursday night he had came in. So when he got up Friday morning, to be totally honest with you, we are aware of my sister's addiction. So he kind of knows the routine that when my mom has been out, then the next day she's gonna be out, sleep. Like even the witnesses said they know that. Like when she's been out all night, the door probably won't open till like 7 or 8 that night, the next night. So when he woke up And mind you that they did have issues. They did go to jail on Monday, so he's still thinking of that. He went to the store and he seen the 911 caller, who they all know, and he asked them, "Hey, how's your mother doing? Is she okay?" And he was kind of confused, but he said, "Yeah, she's okay," because he said he thought back to Monday night, which they were fighting. He heard that they were fighting. He then said that something just told him, "Hey, go check and see if she's at the friend's house, the two guys' house up there," because he went home and she wasn't there. So when he went there, that's when they told him, "Hey, your mom has been severely burned. She's at CMMC, Merit Health. She's there." And that's when he called us and notified us, and we went to Merit Health.
So I gotta ask, where you at now with it? What is all of those people who hadn't done nothing, hadn't said nothing, what have they done as of today?
Well, as of today, I want to take you back to the process before we got to today.
Okay.
On Friday, when we found out as a family, we had such a hard time even getting information from them. The hospital told us that she was at UMMC. We went to UMMC. They said they hadn't had any record of her since 2016. We went back to the two friends' house. They told us, she is at CMMC, and in fact, they have lifted her. They have already airlifted her to Georgia.
Well, how did they know that?
He knew that information because he has a sister or sister-in-law that he said was one of the top nurses or someone in the burn center that gave him that information. So immediately we go back to CMMC and she's not at UMC, and in fact we've heard something different. But before we shared that with them, they told us that, "Hey, we're sorry, we gave you wrong information." But I want to tell y'all our biggest thing. The ball was dropped many times. The first time is when the JPD officer came out. The firefighters came out. No one did any sort of report. No one asked the 911 caller a question. They just took Clarence's statement and they went with that.
Now, why do you think is that? Why do you think that happened?
That's my question, and it's two things that we would say. It's either it was because of the favor of O'Reilly and the status of the O'Reillys, or it was just that not only JPD, the fire officer, everyone just decided they wasn't going to do their job that day.
Well, I totally agree with you on that. It only can be one or the other because nothing else makes sense.
But it's definitely going toward, we as a family, is more so going, what we've experienced, it's going towards the favor of the O'Reilly. We've heard from the daughter that Clarence's O'Reilly's sister, Mrs. Sarah.
She called you?
No, Shantae, Clarence O'Reilly's sister, showed up at the crime scene. And 2 days later, she told us that her aunt, which is Sarah, is an ex-attorney, the attorney general for JPD. She told us that she was the one who we're describing that came and picked him up.
Oh.
So that's confusing. And
wow.
Yeah.
Well, is it a warrant for him?
Right now, yes. After us doing the investigation, we stayed on the scene every day. We went to the crime scene every day. We asked questions. We knocked on doors. And when we called the actual homicide detectives, JPD officer, they told us to wait until after the holiday on Tuesday.
Oh my.
They told us that on Friday, but we didn't wait. We went full force in doing our own investigation and getting all the information that they needed. And just now today, they have issued a warrant out for his arrest around 9 a.m. this morning. Okay,
we got a picture of him too. Whenever the producer put it up, okay, there you go. It's a warrant out for him. Call 355-TIPS. Do whatever you need to do because, hey man, that is absurd. But y'all keep them prayers up. Cause let me tell you something. Leslie, she a fighter, baby. She a fighter. And that man that we serve upstairs, he ain't ready for her. If he ain't take on that ground, he ain't ready for her, baby. She gonna come out better than ever. And him, yeah, he gonna get what's coming to him. Cause y'all people around Jackson, y'all doing too much. Y'all think you gonna keep throwing the rock and hide in your hand. But see, it's some families that y'all gonna understand that got unconditional love for their loved one. And when y'all out here doing crazy stuff, you gonna know these people got people that love them too. We have a call.
Okay.
Get your headphones right there. Left side. Hello, welcome to the Earth is the Same.
Hold on, let me get 1 second.
Hello?
Give me 1 second.
Okay.
All right, caller.
Call, are you there?
I think she hung up.
Okay. Well, call back. Call back, sister.
There she go.
All right. Hello?
Give me 1 second. Here she comes.
I couldn't hear no one.
Hello?
Yes, how y'all doing tonight?
Hey, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great, Chantel. This is Shantae. And you already know that I'm calling on behalf of my father, Clarence O'Reilly.
Oh, okay. Then what this young lady just said, I can say what she just said that something about she spoke with you.
Yes.
Yeah, she did, because you know I don't uphold wrong. But I wanted to clear up a couple of things that she got misconstrued. And first off, the first thing that wasn't correct was I didn't say that my aunt was the city attorney general. What I said was my aunt was the city of Jackson attorney, and that she was retired.
Yeah.
And I also told the young lady that my auntie wouldn't risk her career nor her character hiding my daddy in nothing that he done wrong.
Okay, that's
and you know my family
that's
well too. And yes, they predominantly
and it was actually documented
right here in the neighborhood. And second off, there has not been no warrant issued for my daddy effective or nothing this morning. My daddy has spoke with detectives that has been assigned to this case. And only thing that they're waiting on is to hear the fourth person story. Like I explained to the young lady that's sitting there with you, when I met her, I didn't have to say nothing, but I felt her pain as a sister, as a human being hurt by a family member. And like I told that young lady, her sister and my daddy have always been hot. Always. When I told that young lady I seen my daddy, the last time I seen him was Monday. I pulled up at his house. He wanted me to take Leslie, asked me to take him to pay the light bill because he wouldn't give her any money. And I asked my daddy what was all them bruises all over his body. And he just looked back at Leslie. I took my father to pay the light bill. Later on this week, all this right here happened. First off, a person that's guilty of anything wouldn't be trying to go see a person that's hurt. Like I explained to that young lady, she know where the fire come from. She dashed my daddy. Gas got on her, and when she sat down, like she said, she know what
nobody there to see
they hit that pipe. Them flames blew up on her. She took out running out the abandoned crack house, and that's how they had.
Well, wasn't nobody there to even speculate all that. So
yeah, it was my dad.
Everything else was he say, she say. But you have a right to respond back to what she said.
Okay.
You can cut that call.
I didn't hear you.
Producer, you can cut that call.
Call cut.
Okay.
Okay, so I definitely
because you did not know her and she did not know you, and I know for a fact whatever else she told you out there, you wouldn't know nothing about who auntie what. Just like you wouldn't know what else she told you about their family business.
Right, but the biggest thing about this conversation, like, I can't even.
Leslie is the victim here. Let me get that straight from the door. Leslie is the victim.
But Shantae, there was multiple, and I don't think you're aware of that, because when I say we were all there, there was multiple cameras rolling. There was multiple lives rolling as you were speaking to me. And you told me that your auntie picked him up and was supposedly, actually you told me she picked him up and took him downtown. That's what you said, but there's no no type of record of him being arrested.
And what else did she tell you?
She also told me that her father raped her or molested her, and that she had no ties to him. She didn't mess with him.
Oh, okay.
I also told her about the sister that was calling, making derogatory, texting on Facebook, making derogatory messages that she did not mess with that sister at all. And she told me, if my auntie, like I know what happened, my auntie picked him up, y'all not gonna find him. That's what Shantae told me. And I asked Shantae, we done? Okay. I asked Shantae, why did he not contact us? And she said he hadn't contacted y'all. I said no. We found out on Friday. He hasn't contacted us. When we called him one time, one call went through, and the others, he didn't pick up, but it rung. The others, he cut the phone off, or the phone went off.
Well, prior to any of this, did you know any of his sisters' names or anything about his siblings?
I did not. I knew that he had sisters, but I did not know their name. And the reason, because... Or their profession. But now my sister always talked about all the money they had and all the control that they had. She's always told us that.
How racist they is towards us.
Exactly, and how they didn't like her, but when they needed her to make sure that he had his medication, made sure that he had a meal, and made sure she cuts grass, all that to upkeep where they had him at, she told that they liked it her then. They even sent her checks.
Well, he been doing drugs way longer than
His
she
mother.
had for to throw up that. That is irrelevant right now. What is going on is, Leslie is a victim. And if JPD have issued
and another thing that I want to clear
has issued an arrest warrant for him.
Exactly, man. We're not
only
just saying that.
Only the family of the victims would know that.
Exactly. We're in communication with the detective that has taken on the case.
Investigation.
And he told us that there was a warrant issued for his arrest, and it's an open investigation. And also, to clear you up, Shantae, you saying that she hit a pipe. My sister laces. So we're my sister's been doing this since I was a child.
My daddy do the pipe.
Your dad does the pipe.
Bam.
Not my sister. She laces, and if you go inside their home right now, it's a lace joint on the table.
Well, one thing about it, she don't need no advertisement in this city. She made her own footsteps in the sand, just like myself.
Exactly.
So if you gonna tell a lie on somebody, one thing about it, you got to make it believable to those that really know them.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? But this platform is not for tit for tat for hurt.
Yeah.
See, that's why I'm solo dolo. And I would like to see this shirt right here. This what you do. Yeah. This what it's about right here. So, as I said, this show is Leslie is the victim.
Exactly.
Period.
And if you want to say that she lit herself on fire, we don't know the details because we wasn't there.
Let me tell you something. That's like me. That's like me chewing the green as parsley and swallow it and think I can regurgitate it like a dog and put it in a cigar. I'm too good of a pro for that.
And explain.
I know what I do.
The questions that we have.
So you'll never have that problem out of me thinking I can do that.
There's a question.
Or trying to fool me with parsley for some Regent and some lime and some perp. You just ain't gonna be able to do it. I'm too good at it. I know it. I've been doing it since it was coming in matchboxes and brown envelopes. You ain't gonna get me like that. So, no, it don't work like that. But as I said, this right here, I want to thank you, And put that picture back up there. That's what you do.
But I want to say this too. When we talked to the charge nurses at the hospital,
Put that picture back
they
up.
called the homicide detective office and told them, you all brought this lady in as a domestic, but it's about to turn into a homicide at any time.
Shoot.
So no matter what, neither me or Shantae was there, so we don't know the details of what
Nobody know
happened.
but the people with
but
them.
what I do know that happened is that the authorities that's supposed to serve and protect dropped the ball by not even questioning your dad. He was supposed to get took in and questioned. He was supposed to get treated. Did you ask if he went to the hospital and got treated? What do you mean check on somebody? He was the victim, so he say. So he say he was the victim, but she just got burned.
Make that make sense.
Why did he go home and get all of his known possessions, his medication, his antique guns? Within 30 to 45 minutes, he went home, got this stuff, and left. We have not heard from this man. It doesn't make sense.
And who and what detective told you it's a warrant for him?
A detective that's handling the case, that's been assigned the case.
Okay.
We have been at it all day. They told us to wait till after the holiday. That's the reception that we got.
And y'all gotta stop doing that, JPD.
We was there. He just got a warrant for his arrest today. They've been to 2 properties. And I think U.S. Marshal is actually into it now. If that's, I hope I'm not giving too much information. But you're wrong, Shantae. And just like you said, you don't even talk to them.
They only come around.
They're not telling you anything.
They don't even come.
Well, you didn't know her.
I did not know her.
You did not know
I
her
did not.
when y'all first met. It with 2 first impressions. So I know you don't have a reason to lie about nothing that you encounter as a sister coming to a scene of the rescue, trying to see what's wrong with your sister. Because I sit up here as a sister with one that's laying over there in the ground for domestic violence. So I don't want you to think now time I ain't on Leslie's side. Because to me, Leslie is Pam. And those that know I lost my sister. And not only did I lose my sister to domestic violence, the joker that did my sister, he also shot my 2-year-old great niece. So I sit up in here in this seat talking to you as a family that had to bury one. And you sit over there as one that fighting for one.
Yeah,
So,
and just as hard as she's fighting right now, I'm
nobody gonna get Chantel to turn the other cheek when it's a victim. Cause see, that's what society do. You know, that's what society do. They take everything that's wrong and glorify until it hit their front door. And then once it hit their front door, they want the world to stop. But see, it only can be one victim. It can't be 2. That's just like people getting mistaken with relationships. Think it's 3 or more people. It's just 2. The one that got the sense to lead the rest behind. So, you know, I don't want nobody to get it twisted to don't. Leslie is the victim. Period. Keep the prayers going up. Keep this family prayers up. The 91 homicide victims of this year, keep their families in prayers. Get involved. You see something, you say something. And guess what? If you see him, call 355-TIPS. Get that picture back up there, producer. Thank you very much. Yeah. You see it? Call 355-TIPS. Because as of right now, JPD done told this family that it's a warrant. And that's what we gonna stand on. I'm gonna stand on her word.
Exactly.
Nothing else, no more, nothing else. So, if you know somebody who done lost somebody, tell them to get in contact with Miss Felicia Marshall with Grant Me Justice. And let me tell you something. If you know somebody that need a housekeeper, Heavenly Hands Cleaning Service, we've been in bid. Y'all know I'm OCD, ADHD, all of the above. I'm in my right field. If I clean it, you can eat out food. I guarantee you. I ain't hard to find. But I want y'all to remember one thing. Keep that picture in your head. Keep that picture in your head. And keep them prayers going up. Because she in good hands over there in ATL. ATL, they the best in the business in any medical care that you think of. I know because I used to live over there. See, they vote over there while y'all over here playing. But I want to thank you, give out your information, say anything else you want to say, come back. I tell you what, I'm talking to Mr. Gary now to see whether or not, since it's in a high demand and people is really starting to get involved, I'm trying to ask Mr. Gary, is it another day during the week, during the same time, where I can get this show more than one day a week? And hey, you can come back. I want you to come back. I want everybody to come back. And next time, we can have somebody else sitting over here, or if anybody else out your family got something to say, one of her sons, they can come back. They can come back next week. And I'll put them on one other segment. That's what we gonna do. Because guess what? The hurt is the same. Don't fall under pressure, baby. We apply. And we get our licks back. Over here, yeah. And we gonna get our lick back with love, cause you already displayed hurt. We ain't gonna do that. We gonna get it back with love and accountability. So I wanna thank you for coming on tonight. Anything you wanna say, you can say it. And y'all stay tuned, cause I got another guest coming up.
I'ma say this, that we're not gonna stop. Everybody that dropped the ball is gonna be held accountable. Including the person that did this to her. No matter what the case was, she didn't deserve that. And just because your family member or my sister has an addiction, that don't mean she's not loved.
Amen.
And that don't mean that she's not gonna be fought for.
Amen. Amen. All right. Fred, can you take me to a commercial?
Let's read and learn together. Meet Mason. Written by Sherry Tate. Illustrated by David. Mason is a young, inspired learner. Walk with him as he uses his five senses to explore the world around him. Your young one can learn to identify shapes, numbers, letters, and more with Meet Mason. Available now on Amazon.com.
Have you had your Earthblend coffee today? At Earthblend Coffee, we take pride in offering you the very best of beans across the world, blended and roasted to perfection, giving you superior quality and satisfying and flavorful taste. Experience the world in one cup with Earthblend Coffee. To order, visit earthblendcoffee.co now.
The Mississippi Link is an African-American female-owned newspaper with a trusted voice that is highly respected throughout the city, state, and nation. Our motto, keepers of the knowledge for people who speak the truth, since 1993. Link significantly influences the thoughts, attitudes, and buying decisions of its readers. Call us at 601-368-8481 for your advertising needs. If you would like to receive a newspaper in the mail each week, our annual subscription is only $52 per year. That is only $1 per week for you to stay informed regarding many stories that you can only get in the Mississippi Link. Sign up today at themississippilink.com and click on Home Delivery.
SocratesGarrettENT.com is a diversified firm specializing in recycled aggregates and crushed concrete. SocratesGarrettENT.com's recycled materials provide the construction industry with significant economic and environmental benefits by recycling clean concrete rubble into M.Dot grade rock materials. Recycled aggregates and crushed concrete can be applied to driveways, road construction, bank protection, parking lots, general bulk fills, and more. By using SocratesGarrettENT.com's crushed concrete products, anyone from homeowners to general contractors can help reduce landfilled concrete waste, conserve natural resources, and gain significant economic savings on materials and disposal costs. For more information, please call 601-896-0084 or visit us online at SocratesGarrettENT.com. SocratesGarrettENT.com is a diversified firm specializing in recycled aggregates and crushed concrete. SocratesGarrettENT.com's recycled materials provide the construction industry with significant economic and environmental benefits by recycling clean concrete rubble into M.Dot grade rock materials. Recycled aggregates and crushed concrete can be applied to driveways, road construction, bank protection, parking lots, general bulk fills, and more. For more information, please call 601-896-0084 or visit us online at SocratesGarrettENT.com. SocratesGarrettENT.com is a diversified firm specializing in recycled aggregates and crushed concrete. SocratesGarrettENT.com's recycled materials provide the construction industry with significant economic and environmental benefits by recycling clean concrete rubble into M.Dot grade rock materials. Recycled aggregates and crushed concrete can be applied to driveways, road construction, bank protection, parking lots, general bulk fills, and more. By using SocratesGarrettENT.com's crushed concrete products, anyone from homeowners to general contractors can help reduce landfilled concrete waste, conserve natural resources, and gain significant economic savings on materials and disposal costs. For more information, please call 601-896-0084 or visit us online at SocratesGarrettENT.com.
Welcome back to the Heard is the Same. As y'all to see, hey, I done switched up on y'all. Hey, welcome. I have two new guests here with me today. I want them to introduce themselves.
James Hopkins, Hopkins Foundation.
Better Man Society, Christopher Cooper, the president.
All right, Christopher. Tell me a little bit about what your organization do.
Better Man Society, we are an organization that they're founded by, our founder is Robert Bobby Davis, who was killed May 1st of this year. But as he created this program, it was all about rebuilding men's and rebuilding the community. So what we do is we go out to the schools, we read with students, we do activity with students, we eat with students. We also go to alternative schools. We mentor students there. We have seen student lives being saved in that particular moment. We also are activists for Stop the Violence, Guns Down. We go out late night from the hours of 11 to 2 o'clock. We go out and to different stores and push cards saying stop the killing, guns down. So that's our conversation piece. And also we do walks of love into the community. We go out into the community and scream stop the violence, gun down. And also we stop to hear their voice and see what we can do to better help their areas in their community. So we are a group that wear many hats. We try to show ourselves tangible to the community. Also, we help elderly people. We take our water, we distribute water. Like this week, we've been running from place to place, to school, to church to try to give our water to the community. But we do that on a daily basis, or even before this crisis hit, we always try to assist the elders on anything that they need, such as if they have a problem with a limb or something that need to be cut down, we'll send a brother there to assist that old lady. So that's what we're about.
All right. Well, hey, that y'all like Walmart. y'all like Walmart. You know, I love, you know, me and Bobby go way back. We go way back, you know. And believe it or not, everything that you just said is our teachings growing up. Mm-hmm. That's what our grandparents, you know, that was our norm. Mm-hmm. That's right. And it's sad that it's not these kids' norm.
Right.
You know, everything you just said, mm-hmm. you know, that's the cloth that we were cut from.
Yes, ma'am.
And to spread it, you know, that's the same thing that I know, mm-hmm. that I do. You know, it's a norm to me. It's the right way. So I want to applaud you for coming tonight.
Yes, ma'am.
And I got to ask you, because I know you got to run. What else you got to say? As from your personal aspect of just living here as a citizen.
As a personal aspect, living here as a citizen, been living here ever since I came back to Jackson in 1995, 96, 97. I graduated from Provine, and seeing the city in the same spot that it was then now, which is our communities are failing, the streets are failing, we can't even get trash picked up, limbs cut down. So that's why I seen with Brother Bobby vision to clean up community. So like, these are the things that we are fighting for our community. Like me, I hate that there's so much high crime. So that's why we as Better Men's put together a walk of love, because first thing got to be shown is love consistently. Right. See, if our community haven't seen love, then they don't know how to act on love. They don't know how to have self-love. Right. So, you know, that's even with our House representatives. That's with our elected official. Right. So we got to know that we all got to come together on one accord to be able to make a change in the city of Jackson. So first we took groups like as Brother Hawkins got started. You know, we got other groups, Bridging the Gap. We got other groups, All Souls Matter, Unite Mississippi. We are Pastor Devine. We got different churches and different organizations coming together now to try to be on one vision. He said, people without vision shall perish. So we are having the same vision of saving our youth and changing our community. That's right. So that's our building point. And what I'm tired of is division. You know, it's time. It's time out for division. It's time to come together as one. I don't care if you're a communist. I don't care if you're a Republican. I don't care if you're a Democrat. It's just time out. I don't care if you're a Baptist, a Catholic, or a Episcopal, you know, whatever church you are serving. It's time out for the foolishness, and it's time to come together. Really, if we really love the city of Jackson, then we got to be the change that we want to see. You know, and be that better role model for our youth. You know, our youth done seen so much. A lot of people done gave up on our youth because they saying, oh, they this. But right now, our youth just in survival mode. You know, they scared out there. But if you don't have anything else like a youth activity center that can keep their minds busy away from those, or if you ain't trying to produce no jobs for these young men so they won't have to go out to the streets and try to sell drugs or anything, because some of these children might not be eating at home. Some parent might be selling all the food stamps at home. You know, I'm just shooting that out there, being transparent. But as we see that, we don't know what their struggle is in the household. Some could be just left at home by themselves, you know, and raising themselves, you know. So we don't know their situation until we get to know them, and we don't know their pain, what makes them do this thing, and you know. So we got to understand that we got to be that effect to our youth and to our community, and as we walk together as a whole, and different collectives of mind come together for this particular journey, you know, we got to know that it's one purpose and one goal. That's to save our children, and that's to build Jackson strong.
I totally agree with everything 100%. That you're saying. And as the old folks say, when you start lying, I stop you. But I didn't stop you. So I loved everything that you say, because you tell the truth. Now, I'm going to tell you that what really made me want to scare the building, like they did on TV, because I received a letter. You know, I got a lot of birdies that fly. And I received a letter. When I got this letter, I done pretty much talked to everybody on this letter. And when I got on this side, and there was a lot of fingers being pointed. This person was pointing at this, and that. And somebody said, Chantel, I think you need to see this. And I read that letter, and I studied that letter, and I looked at that letter, And let me tell y'all what letter I'm talking about. This the letter that was sent to the governor for the water crisis.
Okay.
This the letter that was sent to him, and then he act with the president. Woo, I'm talking about made it happen. Now I want to know why the hell y'all couldn't do that with homicides. That's what I want to know. What happened to doing that same identical thing? Cause the two is the same. The water and the homicides is the same. And if you ask me, the homicides is going past the water. Cause we done had the water crisis 80, 90 years. You know, but I'ma need somebody. I ain't gotta tell you who signed it. You know who signed it. You know what you signed. Well, let me tell you a little secret. Miss Johnson got it. I got it. So, you know I'm coming for y'all, though. You know I'm coming to ask you face to face, even if I gotta catch the bus.
That's right.
I'm coming to ask you why you didn't do the same thing for homicides. Y'all could have sent that same identical letter to the governor, and he could have did the same identical thing before y'all made it look bad on CBS and made them use us like a pawn.
Use them like a pawn. That's exactly what they did, though.
Oh, you know.
They took advantage of a situation that they could have had fixed. And everybody's like, oh, yeah, they came in and, man, look how quick the state fixed it. Look what happened when the white people are in charge. And that's the good side of it. But the flip side of it is, if you did it then, now, you could have done it then. The only difference is we had that national media down here covering the flood. So what they did then is they decided they would show out for the national media, and on top of that, don't even invite the mayor of the city to the press conferences.
Well, you know,
so it's just a lot of politics involved. But I believe that crime should have been addressed. I do recall the mayor at one point asking about National Guardsmen, and the governor did say, no, we're not going to have our streets looking like a war zone.
Yes.
I remember that. I also remember the mayor asking for help with the water, and the governor said no. So I'm not pointing the fingers anyway, in either direction, but everybody has some blame in it. Everybody.
Oh, most definitely.
All the way down to the citizens, to the parents, to the kids, to the schools. Everybody has some blame in it.
I totally agree.
But the thing is, when you have the ability to change it, when you have an extraordinary ability to change it, and you don't take that opportunity to change it, then I'm going to point at you. This may be my child, I may be your child, but if I can't get the job done, and this is your grandchild, and you see your grandchild struggling, you're supposed to step in and say, look, your dad ain't taking care of you, I'm going to take care of you. The city of Jackson is the child. The mayor is the dad. The governor is the granddad. When the governor saw that this city was not being taken care of, and he had ample enough time to do it, that he chose not to do it, then he is just as at fault as the city, as the mayor is.
I totally agree.
It's not about, well, this is Jackson, this those people, we'll let them worry about their own problems. We're the capital city. If the city fails and you're the governor, you fail.
Absolutely.
But the problem that we have here is, we think if enough good old boys get on television and say, look what we're doing, this is why you need to elect us. And I've been in conversation with people saying, hey, we need to get them good old boys in there. Because, see, they get the job done.
Oh, I hear it every day. But
do you know that the good old boys have had their knees on your neck the entire time the problem wasn't getting fixed? And the only reason they took their knee off their neck because somebody was recording them, the national media was recording them. Don't be fooled. It's a smoke screen. It's a smoke screen. And the water's not fixed. This water situation is far from being fixed. Watch what happens when it gets cold. Now watch what happens if the national media isn't down here. Let's see how the state addresses it then. But there are some things that we should be doing, and the number one thing we need to do that we don't do is vote.
I totally agree.
If we stood in line to vote the way we stand in line to get water, we could change this city.
Well, you know what I said, they need to start with the welfare office.
Even when you say stand in line to vote, we need to know who to vote for.
Exactly.
We got to be on one accord in the office, about the same vision in the office, and not fighting over things that should not be fighting over, and fight over the things that need to be fighting over. Like for instance, we fighting over a garbage truck contract, and we got all this murder in the city of Jackson. Let's fight over the things that need to be fought over. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And see, you're right. The water system is not going to be fixed because our infrastructure been messed up forever.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? Even when they go out and fix the plant over there, we still seeking in. Yeah, you got old rust still coming through your old dirt and everything coming through your water line. So we still drinking poison water. You see what I'm saying? So it like I said, it's gonna take a while for it to be fixed. You know, we can say that okay, the plant running good, woo woo. Yeah, okay, just to get the people, you know how they try to give you a sense of security.
Oh yeah.
You know, whatever we tell you, you know, we can draw you in.
Right.
In this matter, no, tell us the truth. You know what I'm saying?
Truth.
Tell us the truth.
Tell the
you know,
truth.
It's a lot of things. It was a lot of things that wasn't revealed that was happening with the water. You know, they didn't even tell us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But at the same time, you know, we are looking at in this day and time right now as we give out this water and hear the story. You got people out here that's on dialysis. They can't even go and get water, but they need this water to, you know, to live. Right. You see what I'm saying? So what we say about them, you know what I'm saying? Like we got children that's living in poverty. You know what I'm saying? That's still, you know, drinking this water and ain't got no other choice. You know what I'm saying? Because what if ain't nobody brought them water into their community?
Right, and this was going on before the flood.
Before the flood, yeah.
Before the boil water notice, this has been going on.
Well, I don't know what we had one lifted. We had
an article I read said that we had 287 boil water days in 2021.
Okay, see,
and there are 365 days in the year. So you tell me what, every weekend or something?
Gotta laugh to keep up crying.
I know last year, you know, around the first of the year, I would say almost first of the year, we went on a boil water alert. You know, all the Forest Hill, our BMS teamed up, went and gave these people toiletry water. You know, we went out, we rented U-Haul trucks and got water and gave it to the people. Salvation Army supplied us with the water. We went and gave it out. So then this year, we're repeating the same thing again. But this time, they was turning off water on the old peoples over there, and I was getting phone calls saying, I don't know, I'll find out, you know, what's going on. But they gave them no notice, turned off the water, and then they didn't have no toiletry water. So you know what I had to do with my detail van? I had to fill up my detail van with water to take all the elderlies, over 20 elderlies in one complex didn't have toiletry water.
That's sad. Oh my. That's sad. That's sad. And how do you turn off water, or how do you let's even skip the turning off part? They increased the water bill 2 months ago.
Sure did.
Why we want a boil water notice?
Right.
They increased the trash pickup bill while they were promising to not pay a trash collector.
Right.
Where do these funds go that they've already collected for those 3 months?
Right.
You collected them to pay somebody. You got somebody that picked them up. Why not pay these people instead of wasting more tax dollars on lawsuits?
Yeah, absolutely.
This city has had more lawsuits against itself in the past 2 years than anybody else that sued the city or anybody else that the city has sued. That's a waste of taxpayer dollars. And they'll be right there, 2024, elect me. I'm the best for this city.
Yeah.
If you're in city leadership right now, you are a part of the problem.
And guess what? I speak to everyone that is listening. When you say everybody should go out and vote, make sure you're voting for the right person.
The right person.
Don't stop just voting and ask questions before they even get in there. You know, understand the person that you're voting for. You know, we just not don't want anybody in there right now. You know what I'm saying? Because we see where putting anybody in there, what's going on to our city.
The most signs
you know what I'm saying? We're not concerned about, you know, your personal feeling or your personal need. We our main need is the city of Jackson. I'm tired of people saying that they love the city of Jackson. We stay in the city of Jackson, and the city of Jackson is the only one left out of everything. If you look around the city of Jackson, how it is done perished away. We don't have our own movie theater. We don't have our own mall. We don't have nothing but a Western Plaza over there with a couple stores. We don't even have a toy. I have a zoo. They try to move that out of here. You see what I'm saying?
Well, you know, they go after everything, any huge tax base that Jackson should have. The zoo should be a huge tax base for the city.
Most definitely.
They want the zoo. The airport is the hugest tax base. They want the airport. They said move the zoo to LaFleur's Bluff. But my issue with that is if you move it to LaFleur's Bluff, what part of that zoo is going to end up in Rankin County? And if it does end up in Rankin County, do we now say, well, it's a joint zoo, a Rankin Jackson Zoo?
Right.
And what we'll do is we'll have 2 board members from Rankin, 2 board members from Jackson, and then the governor will appoint. Same way they want to do with the airport. And if that happened, you know what happened. They said, well, we can stop your flooding with this One Lake project. I don't know if y'all heard about that. Well, you know what the One Lake project is supposed to stop all the flooding coming down through the Pearl River, but it's something that Hinds County will have to pay for. Now that's good, if it's gonna stop the flooding, but guess what? It's going to extend into Flowood. And on that side of the lake, they're going to have their hotels, and it's going to be like a little tourist spot. But guess what? They're not going to pay any money for it. They'll reap all the benefits, but the county and the city will be the one paying all the money for it. So that's why the city hadn't done that. But it's just a lot of stuff that if you don't ask questions, if you don't study, you'll be fooled.
LaFleur's is not in Rankin County.
LaFleur's Bluff.
You talking about right off the highway, right?
Right off the highway.
Yeah, that's still Hinds County.
That's Hinds County.
Yeah.
But where they want to put the zoo at will extend to Rankin County.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, help me understand.
So yeah.
Okay.
So but if they want to support the zoo, this is my thing. And I talked to a white guy. He said, well, I want to come to the zoo. I want to bring my family, but we don't want to come to that area. Exactly. Well, you don't want to come to the zoo. Why should we have to keep giving up every single thing we have in order for them to be a part of it? Now, I'm not racist or anything like that. Yeah, I love all God's people. But the truth is the truth. And if you don't address the truth, then it's you can't fix it.
Right.
Why do we have to give up every single thing we have in order for them to want to be a part of it? And the reality is they don't want to be a part of anything. They want to control it. And once they control it, you're going to be out of there. They said, well, get a white mayor, get a white chief of police, get a white sheriff. If you get that, you know what you're going to start seeing in Jackson? The same thing you see in St. Louis and Cleveland, where you're going to see innocent people gunned down.
But that
shouldn't be gunned down.
They doing that now.
No, they're not doing it like they're doing it in these other states. St. Louis is horrible with it.
Well,
Missouri.
I tell you what, last year we exceeded everybody.
Yeah, homicide. No, I mean by police.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
if you get the wrong, police. Because some people's mindset is the only way you can get people to do what you want them to do is you have to whip them. You got to put a whip to them. You got to crack something on their back. If that don't work, you have to start making examples out of people. You saw the guy sold drugs in Madison County, got 144 years old, because a drug addict took the drugs and died. He didn't shove them down his throat. He made that decision to take the drugs, but the black guy that sold him the drugs got 144 years for selling them to him.
Wow.
See, this is the stuff we have to be careful when we start saying who needs to be over us. Because if people don't have your best interest at hand, you have to be careful about what you're asking for.
Right.
I want clean water, but at what cost?
Yeah.
What am I willing to give up to get this clean water? I believe if you vote, put the right people in office.
Well, you
people who know how to work across party. You don't have to just give it to a Republican. Right. Get you a Democrat that understands and is willing to work with Republicans. Because some ideas are okay. We need the money, but we're not going to turn around and say, I'm going to give you my whole city because I want you to fix my water infrastructure. We're not going to say, I'm going to give you my whole airport because I want you to fix my water infrastructure. They're supposed to fix it anyway. They get funding for that. They get federal funding for that.
True.
And they have a dollar for dollar deal with the state where the state will match them dollar for dollar, but they can call a special set. These are laws. You can change laws. All it takes is a vote.
Right. I totally agree.
All it takes is a vote.
Well, you know, when the zoo was up and running,
you about to get out, my brother?
As it was going down, the people that don't look like me didn't have no problem coming over there.
Right.
Because they already in Bearhaven, Fondren, Eastover, Northeast Jackson.
Right.
You know, the people that's scared to come to Capitol Street are the ones that's on the outskirts.
Right.
That don't want to come to that side of town.
But really, what side of Jackson is safe? If you have a bike, if you have a car, if you got feet and you willing to walk far enough, you can take crime anywhere.
True.
Nowhere is safe.
True.
Nowhere is safe. You just have to be prayed up, you know.
Yeah.
That's it. And watch your back. Watch your
totally
surroundings.
agree.
But nowhere is safe.
Nowhere.
Bellhaven has, well, right now I think they have 42 cameras up. But they have over 200 cameras. I don't know if they start putting them up yet.
Oh, they bought
but they
their
have
own.
cameras all the time. Are they
bought
safe
their
though?
own.
Are they safe? No. People
Nah,
breaking in over there, still carjacking and doing. Come on now.
It's just so you know who done it.
That's all it is. That's all it is.
You know, it's just so you know who done it. No different than insurance in case something happens.
Right.
You
But
know?
we really need to look out for each other. We need to vote. And like my brother said, we need to know who we're voting for. Don't just vote for somebody because, hey, they got a good name. They got a pretty campaign sign or they got a whole lot of campaign signs. Know who you voting for. Don't sit back and complain. What are they doing now? Because these same people here now are going to be the same people who going to go down off Valley Street and eat a stamp burger. Never been down there the whole 4 years they've been in office, though. But they'll show up at stamps for the camera. Hey, look what I'm eating, a stamp burger. So they can get the votes for the people in the community.
Yeah.
When crime happens, I tell people, crime does not happen on the steps of City Hall.
Sure don't.
You cannot fix it from the steps of City Hall. You can't fix it from the halls of City Hall. You have to get out in the communities like Better Men Society do, I do, and a lot of organizations.
Sure do.
We get out there and we talk directly to the people.
You got to.
That's the only way you're going to fix it.
That's the only
If you don't know what's on their mind, you can't fix it.
Sure don't.
You cannot stand on TV and hold these little interviews every time there's something bad going on in the city.
Yeah.
And never set foot in the communities that you were elected to serve.
Well, you know, I'm always talking about the churches don't hardly do that no more. You know, you see organizations like Better Men Society and all of these other organizations, but until we all come together, every organization, every church, every creed, every color,
exactly,
every financial, we gonna all have to come together to fix it.
That's right.
And in my granny word, love fixed everything.
That's right. Now, Pastor Gregory DeVinnet there at New Vineyard Church out in South Jackson, great guy, and he's in the streets. He's in the community. He's always out there. He made a valid point. I was listening to him speak one time. There are 168 hours in a week.
True.
Churches are open for 2 hours on Wednesday, maybe 3 hours on Sunday. A majority of them, a vast majority of them, 5 hours out of 168 hours. How can they fix the community if they're only there for 5 hours, and those are the 5 hours that you're going to tie to them? I'm a minister, so I don't speak against the church, but I do tell the truth.
Right.
How can you help somebody if the only time you're opening your doors is when you're ready to collect tithes? How come they can't come up there and pray in the middle of the day, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, Monday through Sunday?
Right.
You know, this is what we have to do.
True.
It takes the churches. It takes the churches. It takes the schools. It takes the parents. It takes the doctors, the lawyers, the politicians. It takes everybody in this city that says, I want a better city.
Exactly.
If you're not willing to do anything but sit around and complain, then you don't want a better city. You want a better situation.
Right.
You don't want a better city. You want a better situation. But it does not work. You don't get your better situation until we get a better city. Exactly.
I totally agree with you. Know, that's why I say I ain't going nowhere. I just got news that I'm finna have my first grandbaby.
Okay, congratulations.
So, you know, this year I'll be on this side on the 23rd. I'll be on this side for a year. So, you know, I'm not going nowhere. We all gonna work together. You know, I thank Mr. Gary for this platform. I thank the community for getting involved, because that's what we need. Because for so long, nobody said nothing.
That's right. That's right.
For so long, nobody said anything, you know, about nothing. Any hurt. We has been raised as colored people, as they say.
To be strong.
To be strong.
Be strong. You got to be strong.
You got to be strong. You got to keep going. And when we had these different tragedies in our lives, I call it a blocker. Your blocker go up.
That's right.
Be strong.
Be strong, yeah.
You know, but The strong get weak.
Strong get weak.
And not only that, you can't do it by yourself.
Nope.
You know? So I'm grateful that people are getting involved.
That's right.
You know, and I've been getting so many calls, so many inboxes, you know, for different things like this was trending for as the family that was here earlier.
Right.
You know, they couldn't get nothing, you know, going on. But they finally got some award.
Right, right.
When it should have been done in the beginning.
Right.
With the first call.
Yeah.
You know?
That's the whole problem. Everybody
Everybody's
was in
dropping the
control
ball.
of everything.
Yeah.
It's just like the insurance company. Let me see if I can toy you around and toy you around and toy you around till you finally just say, well, just give me whatever. Just do whatever. Anything to satisfy me. But you shouldn't accept anything in any part of your life. You should always want what's due to you. We're due a better city.
Most definitely.
We shouldn't accept the state coming in and getting us some water pressure back up, because pressure busts pipes, right? And we got some old pipes, and they gonna bust. That's right, they're gonna bust.
It's coming.
So we can't just accept anything just because they tell us it's good.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
But you know, the ones that don't accept anything, you know, they call us crazy.
That's right.
The ones that's consistent.
Troublemakers.
You know, I was telling a lady the other day, you know, I don't think I'm better than nobody. I just know that my granny generation before me,
That's right.
everything that she done did not go in vain.
That's right.
I don't have to go through that.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
I probably got to go through a few trials and tribulations, but they not going to be like what she done already did and what
Right.
she done already paid for.
Right, right.
I'm not going to do that now.
Right.
I don't have to do that.
Right.
So when you continue the legacy on from your upbringing and from your teaching, and then you understand about your dash, you understand that it's 2 dates on a tombstone: the date you're born and the date
That's
you
right.
die.
That's
And
right.
neither one of them mean a thing. It's the dash in the middle that
That's
you're going to be
right.
held accountable for.
That's right.
So I am very, very careful of what I put in my dash.
That's right. That's right.
And I don't let nobody else make the choice of what goes in my dash.
That's right.
You know, most people say it's leaders and followers. I'm a follower, but I'm a follower
Till it's time to lead.
till it's time to leave. And I'm a follower to God.
That's right.
I'm a follower to the people up here where he talk to me.
That's right.
You know,
That's right.
when everybody else ignore 'em.
That's
you
right.
know, when I see if I'm living some that I know that's wrong, or if I'm seeing some that's wrong, the emotion that I have when I'm feeling it or when I see it, I'm gonna say something.
That's right.
You know, I'm gonna say something. I'm one that don't stand around and do that. You know, I think back to the incident. People that live in Rebelwood, you know, they know me when I was staying in Atlanta. I was coming down. It was a gentleman out there who was the candy man.
That's right.
His name was Dooney, Lord rest his soul. He passed away now. I was walking around there to get me some candy, and there was a lot of police out there. And Dooney, he had a beer, and the officer begging for him to come off the curb, off the step that he was sitting on with the beer.
So he can call him public intoxication.
Exactly. And me, you know, not thinking of nothing, walking on around there, and I get there, and I don't care nobody been there. I come there for what I come for. And when he did it in front of me, I told Dooney, no, stop. Don't you move no more. And I stung Dooney. And Dooney was like, what, Red? I said, don't you walk out there, don't go. And I pushed him. And I pushed him back on the thing. And I instantly told the officer, don't try it. And he was like, then he got hostile with me.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And I told him, you finna call him past that curve so you can get him for public intoxication. But long as he in the inside of that curve,
Right.
you can't fool with it. He was a rookie. He was a white boy. He got mad. He put the cuffs on me. He put the cuffs on me. True story, everybody tell you out there. He got my gun, he took all my bullets out of it, he put it in the bag, but he called a female officer. And the female officer, she said, Red, what? I said, man, why y'all steady sending these people out here to South Jackson? You know they already scared. You know they already hostile. You know they called the commander and whatever, and they took me around there. Then they tried to give me my bullet back. I said, hell, I don't want them. His fingerprints all on them. What I'm going to do with them? I tell you what you do. You finna give me some more to go in there. You know? But it's little things like that I have been in where I react, and I'm gonna do the right thing regardless.
That's right.
You know? So it's a true story, everybody already know. And then, you know, from then on, me and Dooley became best friends. I didn't have to buy nothing from the candy man.
Okay.
No more. But it's just about the community getting involved.
Right.
And if you see something, you say something.
See something, say something.
And you do it.
That's right.
Because the minute they come to your door, you want the world to stop.
Exactly.
And, you know, then, hey, y'all know something, you know. Is there anything else you want to say before we get out of here? I want to thank you for being a guest. Like I said, all the guests is welcome to come back. And y'all going to tell me about that letter. Miss Johnson coming down and I'm going to give me 50 copies. And I'm going to leave it to y'all. And I want to know why you ain't do the same thing for homicide. And don't try, because you know you're on Hines County Land Road, and you know I got the fireman code. I can get in any gate in 82 County, because I'm the housekeeper. I'm the honest, trustworthy housekeeper that turn down money that you leave me when you die. Y'all already know my reputation out there. I don't care nothing about no money. True story, everybody already know. Chantel turned that money down just to have her name in the newspaper. They go to show you how good my word and my bond.
Well, I thank you for having me on, and hopefully we can get a full hour. You know, next time I come on and bring Brother Chris back, because there's a lot of events that we want to have, you know, that we're planning, you know, for the young people. So we have to take care of our young people, because if we don't take care of them, and the schools aren't taking care of them, and the parents aren't taking care of them, no offense to any parents, but the truth is, some of them are taking care of themselves. If we don't take care of them, we don't even have a city in the future, because they're what's going to be in control of this city. So we have to take care of our young people.
I totally agree.
Have to take care of our young people.
And you can come back anytime you get ready. And you know you're supposed to have your whole album, but she called me and pulled in my heartstrings.
No problem.
And you know, you come back next week.
I don't know about next week, but I'll definitely be back. I'll definitely be back.
Let me know. And we're going to do it just like Nike.
All right. Well, I appreciate you.
Thank y'all for tuning in to The Hurt Is The Same. As I said, if you lost a child, get in contact with Grant Me Justice. And if you need a good housekeeper, holler at me. My number is public. You already know. I'm 30 years referrals. I'm just not trying to get up to the new sign at a time, as my judge wife said. Chantel, we're trying to bring you up to the new sign of the times. Get this sign and put on your car. Get these business cards. I said, I've been on referrals for 30-something years. It's time for you to upgrade. So, hey, big shouts out to my confidants who trying to upgrade you. And you already know, 1 down, 3 to go. Say his name, Christopher. Thank you for tuning in.